Hey guys, so I am back with another video and it's Tuesday night, 9:40 p.m. So it's a little late and I'm probably just gonna do this before I go to sleep because I have school tomorrow and I have a lot of work to do. So anyways, today I'm just gonna talk about how I created this and kind of like the design process, I guess. And I'm just gonna talk about the little things that will hopefully get you guys started. So I'm just gonna go overview about all the different steps I took. So first off, it all started with a photo shoot. So actually, with this project, it was assigned. It was actually a school project, which I did over summer, and the prompt was to create something inspired by something artistic, either a person or a place. So I decided to do my project on Miss Gianti Giadi from Gigi's Art of Dance. And what I ended up doing is that I interviewed her and I asked her really abstract questions like, what shapes do you imagine? Like, let's say if you were in a fantasy world, what are these things that you see? And from the things that I got from that interview, I ended up conceptualizing to something that looks like this. So I started out with just a few sketches, and then I decided to take a photo shoot with her. And these are a few photos, and I ended up using this one. So I got this image, threw it into Photoshop, and then I isolated it, and then I also made the world, and that I did in Blender. So if you look over here. Oh, and also this is not actually part of the original recording, but I decided to add this part of the video into it just to show how I actually did the stuff inside Blender. So this is just showing a bit of a time lapse going 12 times real time, and this is just pretty much what it looks like when I'm working inside Blender and how I really created the world. So yeah. What I first did was I first made the polygon mesh. So that's just with like vertices and everything. And I used a lot of arrays so I just made one of these housing blocks and I just made it so that it kept on repeating. And then I duplicated it all into 2 layers, and then I used this modifier called the wireframe modifier, and that just pretty much makes the wireframe renderable. And then I just got those out, and then I isolated each of the parts into separate layers, and from that I threw it all into Blender. And I have this housing unit zoom up. I also did the same process to this big tower thing, but I'm just gonna talk about this one because I have it out. So to create this one, pretty much I had 2 things. I had the solid version, which I got from here, the solid, and also the wireframe. And if I put this at full opacity, that's what it will look like. But I just turned it down, and what I ended up doing is that with a lot of playing around, I just kept on adding different layers to it until it looked cool. And yeah, so, and also with things like down here, just so you guys know how I did that, I first select this layer or this strong layer, and then what I did is that I took the areas that's not selected. So the reason why I chose this layer is that there's empty space in that layer. So then with that layer selected, I can use like a gradient or something, and on a different layer I can draw it out, and it will only be isolated to that area. So that's just a quick little thing that's pretty cool and really useful. Also, one thing that is really useful is Control D, which is deselect. For those of you guys who don't know, that's probably like the most important tool ever. So yeah, and let's go back to the composition. Another thing I did was that matrix animacy look, and I did that by let me just demonstrate again. So I added like a cube or something like that, add an array to it, kind of like that. Let me just, and I think I did subdivisions, applied that, and then I did the wireframe thing. I think I just applied that. Then I add a, what is it? Displacement modifier. Add a texture to that, and bam, we get that kind of look. And then that's just, and then just a lot of copying and pasting and stuff like that. A lot of duplicating. So that's pretty much how I did that. And what else is there? A lot of layering and a lot of geometry. A lot of these things I actually just did, like a lot of these shapes, they were just selections that were colored in. So it was more like, let me just open up a new layer. Let me show you what I pretty much did. Is just a lot of doing this kind of stuff, like having a pen tool out, drawing out a shape, and then I usually use gradients for things because I like gradients. Oh wait, make this into a selection first. So with our pen tool selected, make selection, and then with that selection you can do that or something, and that's how you create a shape. And then you just overlap it over and over and over and over. Oh, and also one other thing is glows. Glows is I use a lot of glows. And to do that, what I do is, let's just use text as an example. If I have text here, there. Yeah, let's say yes, I have this, and I wanted to duplicate this. What I would do is that I know if I wanted to add a blur to it, I would duplicate it, and with the bottom layer, I would go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, yes, and then I can like add that effect. And also, if I want to make it light, assuming I can also do like image adjustments, hue saturation, make it all light or dark, depending on the situation. So that's pretty much what I did with the characters. And also this hand. The cuffs I actually created in Blender, and also this hand area. But so then to isolate this hand area, what I ended up, ooh, this is lagging a bit. So what I ended up doing is that I just took that area of selection, duplicated it, and then I just put it on, because it's actually like separate. It's actually a duplicate of layer, but it's over the cuffs, because if I just had the cuffs, then it wouldn't look too right. So that's how I did it. And oh, this text area, I just did different shapes, which I added blurs to, and I turned down the opacity and I just add some glows. And for the text, what I did was, let me just go over here. By taking this kind of text stuff, can just select an area and then layer via copy. Not layer via copy, layer via cut. You just pretty much make a different layer and then you just move it around. Oh wait, I was selecting the wrong one. You would get your text, rasterize that type, select an area via cut, and then you can move it around. And that's just how like I had the glitch effect. I just did that manually because I don't think there's any other way to do that. And also, oh, lastly, another thing I did a lot was adjustment layers. These adjustment layers, they pretty much color correct. It's good for color correcting a lot of things, so you don't have to go to each individual layer. And the way I did that was by adding, let's say, layers, new adjustment layer, and stuff like things I always use. Brightness and contrast, that's a must. That's really good. Well, let me just find them. But not overdone. I think a lot of people usually overdo contrast and things, so don't overdo that. Color curves are the number one you have to use. Hue saturation, I like hue saturation just to get that cool like cinematic effect, because sometimes if it's oversaturated, you can also like, so then you can get like low saturated, because I know sometimes you have an image that's really bright, you just want to turn it down a little bit. That will look very nice. And let me just think about another thing. Yeah, color curves. For those of you guys who don't know it, how it works is that you have your darks and your lights and your midtones, and then you can just change it up. Wait, this is not right. Is it right? Oh, cancel, cancel. Wait, I was selecting that. I did color curves for hue saturation, but if I did just some layer color curves, new layer color curves here. So with this color curves, you have your darkness and you have your light stuff. And pretty much if you lower it down here, it means that the darks are getting darker. Over here means the darks are getting lighter. You can also do that with different colors, like reds. Let's say I want to decrease the reds, I want to increase the reds. That's really good for tints. Because I know with this one, I think I added a slight blue tint. But these are only very, very subtle things. You don't want to overdo it. And I think that's it. Yeah, and also for those you don't know, isolations, you can do that with pen tool. I like using a pen tool. So that's when you have, like, let's say over here, you have your character, throw that in, and pen tool, yeah, I already have it. You just like go around the character, and you can also hold it and stuff. Oh, and make sure you're on the wire, because normally the default is actually you're creating a shape. So if you press the second one, you can create a selection. So you create that line, right click, make selection, press OK, or you can change it. This is just the feathering, so you can change like how smooth the cut is. So by doing it, you can choose that. And also here's a trick: you collect the lasso tool, and you just right click here. You can also select the inverse, so you can delete the, oh wait, this is not editable. If you delete, if you delete this now, or there, you will delete everything that's inversed, or you can just like back to this one, and you do that. So yeah, and oh, also I guess one thing that I didn't really talk about is if you select an area, you can do wait, I kind of did it. I think, yeah, I already talked about this, but you can do the, what is it? Oh wait, no, you need to make this selection first. Forgot that. Have a selection. You can wait, if you go to lasso tool, I think lasso tool glitches things so that you get this drop down menu. So you can do layer via cut, layer via copy. So do layer via cut. You now have an isolated version of this. So if you needed to color correct that individually, you have that. So that's pretty cool. And I think that's pretty much it. So in conclusion, when you're working on a project like this, break it down into layers. Don't think of it as a whole thing. Think of it as individual parts, because it was all about getting like different assets to it. So then I put it all into a lot of small sections, and this was a really long process. So I also had like a lot of like test renders like this, and then these were like the individual layer things for the composition. And yeah, this is like the solids, blah blah blah. So yeah, it was a long process of trial and error. And also I had the wire thing around her arm, and this was actually this circle thing. And yeah, is there anything else to talk about? Just blurs and everything. Yeah, to use blurs, just go filter, blur. Yeah, I think I already talked about that a little bit with the text. And I don't think I did anything else. So yeah, to finish it off, think of it one by one. And also one thing that I'm really proud about this composition is that color scheme was pretty consistent, pretty nice. How I had a nice balance, how there was gold here, 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 and around here. So there wasn't like one area where it was just like not uneven. So that's what I really like about these shapes. They really add to the piece by making it balanced throughout the whole artwork. And yeah, this is actually one that I'm making prints for. So I actually made this on A1 size, so that's pretty big. You go to image size, yeah, pretty big dimensions. And oh, it's actually, yeah, pretty big. And it takes forever to save and render and stuff. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Sorry if this is, I know this is a really quick video. This is just an overrun, just to see the different things that I do. This is not meant to be like a full-on tutorial on like all the individual steps. This is just kind of like an over through thing, just so that you guys understand the different techniques involved. And then later on, you can probably just search each of the things that I do. Like, let's say if you're confused about a little small thing, you can just Google that, figure that out. So I'm just trying to just show, if you're working on a project, what are the things that you need that can apply. Because my goal is to make it all about applicability, things that will get you somewhere, not things not. So yeah. Sorry if it's my wording's not that good. It's pretty late. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you like this video. And I also have on my channel, there's also another breakdown video. This is just like just the slides of the progression of it. So that's pretty cool. You might want to check that out. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you can also go to my Facebook page. I'll put links in the description below. And there you can message me questions that you may have regarding Blender or Photoshop, and or if you want like critiques or anything or advice regarding art or whatever, you can just throw me a message, and that should be it for today. So yeah, thanks for watching.